This is Sam from Uniondale, and you are tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. Folks, got a lot of NBA to talk about. We've got Bronny making his Summer League debut. We've also got an NBA superstar in France talking about, hey, the team revolves around me. Y'all better catch on. Anthony Edwards had some real strong words, excuse me, for his USA teammates. But we start off with Steph Curry. Steph Curry, oddly enough, I was surprised when I heard this, is making his first Olympic appearance in Paris. And he made a comment about dynasties with an interview with Malika Andrews, and Steve Kerr was there as well. And the question was, are we ever going to see NBA dynasties again? Let's analyze. Steph, you ever heard this the statement, out of sight, out of mind, or when they say recency, biased, recent, this is Steph Curry, what is he, 36 years young? He's the last team to ever do it. They've won 4 championships. And I'll tell you what, this is something that crossed my mind as well. Will we ever see it again? You look in the NBA in the last 6 years, there has not been a champion to repeat. So, I mean, is it possible? Will we see? Est-ce que c'est possible? Is it possible? Will we see it again? I have a sound bite here from Steph Curry and about this topic. But let's analyze. Here's Steph Curry, y'all.
I don't know, I wonder, do you think we're ever going to see another dynasty like what you guys built again?
I don't think so. It's just because it's very hard to keep things together in this league. There's a lot more player movement. Me, Clay, and Draymond especially, we complemented each other so well for so long. We all brought something different to the table, so we'll see. Records are meant to be broken. Dynasties come in all different shapes and sizes, so we'll see.
Here's the deal, y'all. So, and the Warriors, they've won 4 championships, obviously, and I got to thinking, I'm like, there has not been a repeat champion in 6 years, so. And these rules, by the way, are straight brutal, but. To answer the question, Steph Curry does not believe that there will be another dynasty. I disagree. At first, I thought that maybe the Denver Nuggets would be able to do it. But with the way the NBA is currently structured, with the way the rules are now, I had to really analyze, and there are actually 2 teams that are built to actually be dynasty teams. Only 2, in my opinion. One being the Oklahoma City Thunder, OKC, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and company. And I think the New York Knicks as well. I think these teams, got ahead of it a little bit before, with the second apron or what have you, and Brock Eiler for the Knicks and the capologist that he is. I think he's done an excellent job in helping to have helped the Knicks in managing the cap situation. And then you see Sam Presti with OKC has done a great job in getting his team and managing the cap. So, I mean, if you try to do it the way the Golden State Warriors did it, yeah, I can see it. Look at, paying Steph, Clay, who's now with the Mavericks, and Draymond. With the salary cap the way it is, you just can't afford to do it. So it's going to be interesting, but I believe that there are two teams that right now I think will be able to do it. If the Philadelphia 76ers win, they've got, you know, PG-13 for a period in time. I mean, how long will he play at a dominant level with that 4 years? I mean, he's what is he, 34? So it's a contract that he signed. Joel Embiid is always hurt. Are they going to be able to field a team around them? I'll tell you what. I don't think the dynasty talk is over, but I will say the big three era winning titles, that's over. The way everything is constructed now, look at the Phoenix Suns. I think Phoenix would Beal, KD, KD, by the way, who's hurt right now in Paris. We'll talk about the Olympics geriatrics team. Yes, we will. But I believe that is something that we're going to see be done away with. That big three era where you get three guys, super, all stars, and form Voltron and try to go win. The way the NBA is set up now, you can't have three stars, three superstars, stars, whatever you want to call them, and win titles and field a good team, in my opinion. But what say you, NBA fan? What say you? Can it be done? I think that's what's done. I think the big three, as we once saw it, I think that is a wrap. I think that is a wrap. But on va voir. We shall see. But Steph Curry, I mean, I think the days of him and Draymond winning chips, that's over. I think that's over. But, I mean, I they probably still believe they can compete. They've got a young nucleus. Who knows? Now, there's a team right now in USA basketball that is currently in France right now, getting ready for the Olympics. You've got guys like Steph Curry, as I mentioned, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. All guys are, I think it's fair to say, on the other side of their primes, but still playing very, very well. And a guy who I believe in, Ant-Man, Ant Edwards, is being marketed as the face of the NBA, in my opinion. Very confident young guy. He was asked the question. He's never been a guy to not have confidence. The 22-year-old, he says, they asked him about, I guess this was a throwback to Michael Jordan in '92 when they asked Michael Jordan who would take the last shot. And then he was like, with all these superstars, they asked MJ, with all these superstars, game on the line, who's going to take the last shot? And Michael Jordan goes, me. That's a dumb question. Me. So Michael said, Anthony Edwards, who's the only guy that they brought back from last year's FIBA tournament, he says, I'm still, quote of the day goes to Ant-Man, I'm still the number one option. Y'all might look at it differently, but I don't. When I heard that, I'm like, wow, cocky. Cocky of Ant-Man. But I look at it, and people are looking at LeBron, Curry. I think you've got to go with the young guy. Because I look back at 1992, and I remember when Michael was there, Larry Bird was older, on his way out. Magic was on his way out. And they had to ride the coattails of a young Michael Jordan. And I think when you look at it, I think if you look at this team, you've got a lot of old heads. You've got a lot of old heads. And I think, Steph Curry, the Kawhi Leonards of the world. It was great to see Joel Embiid. He looks like he's better. I think they're going to have to ride the coattails of a younger player who can, I remember I always joke around with my, my boys and, my brother and all. We're always talking about, man, remember when we were kids and we used to play basketball from early morning till the end of the till night and just wake up and do it again the following day. And it's like now if you manage to shoot around or play a game, you'll feel it for a week. I mean, it's different, man. And these guys are at that point. Steph Curry, the Kevin Durants of the world, they don't have the summer to rest. So these guys are going to have to put their pride aside and understand the situation at hand. As Carmelo would say, the task at hand. And ride the coattails of an Ant-Man. Now, the great news here is you've got the greatest shooter that God has ever created in Steph Curry on the team. So, and this is his first Olympics. So maybe, game on the line if it ever got close. You've got a Steph Curry there. You've got the most dominant big man in this generation's NBA in Joel Embiid. And that's saying a lot because he's not really a guy who really uses his size. I'll tell you what, I hope Embiid doesn't learn anything from these Olympics and then starts going to the post or whatever in the regular season, because that would make things real difficult. But I had no problem with that would make things difficult for opposing teams. But I had no problem with what Ant-Man Anthony Edwards had to say. Keep that confidence up, man. I had no problem with what he had to say at all. And I'm sure NBA players smiled, but you saw how he got at Kevin Durant, his favorite player. You're old and all this stuff. He was going at him. I think it's good for the game, and Ant-Man is being handed the mantle. He's the face of the league. So good for him, or one of the faces, but clearly being marketed as the face of the league. Now, Bronny James made his debut this weekend. He had a nice little 4-point performance, and now he's a little banged up. He didn't play yesterday, and he's been the young man has been catching a lot of shade. LeBron James was like, one thing y'all don't understand is Bronny could care less, and I like that Bronny James has a tougher skin than most, and good for him. I already told you. I think he's athletic. He can shoot the ball. He didn't shoot it that well his first game, only 4 points. But I'll tell you what, one thing that I'm impressed with, he has a high basketball IQ, passes the ball, finds his teammates. It's going to be a process, folks. He's a second-round pick. And towards the end, almost Mr. Irrelevant at that. Doesn't mean that he can't become a very good player. It's happened. All you need is an opportunity. So I reserve my right to, when it comes to a guy like a Bronny, give it about 3 years, 4 years. I mean, he only played a half an hour in college, not even a full season, really. So I can't wait to see what he becomes. But LeBron James was like, he doesn't even care. He's not stressing, y'all. He doesn't even care. So it is what it is with that, and good for him. Now it's that time. UConn's Dan Hurley got paid. He signs a new 6-year, $50 million contract. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Folks, I'm on all social media platforms now. Facebook at SamIAnalyze. Instagram at SamIAnalyze. The platform now known as formerly known as Le Twitter, at Sam I Analyze. I'm now on TikTok, Sam I Analyze Sports. Please like, share, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, à tout à l'heure.